Now, a large social network that promotes anti-Western and pro-Kremlin ideas in French-speaking Africa has been discovered. Now, it's called Russosphère. Posts typically accuse France of modern-day colonialism. They eulogize Vladimir Putin and call the Ukrainian army Nazis and Satanists. Well, experts say such misinformation drives mistrust between African nations and the West. With me is Grigor Atanasian from the BBC's Global Disinformation team. Great to see you. So just talk me through, first of all, what you've discovered.
Hi, Lewis. Thanks so much for having me. So we discovered this huge network of social media groups across platforms, which is really promoting Kremlin messages all day, every day. And it attacks France, it attacks the West, and it attacks Ukraine. We actually spoke to the man behind it, which was a bizarre conversation. This is real-life impact of such networks. We're going to talk about them later. But
so this is the man with a bald head and glasses?
Yes.
So who's this?
His name is Luc Michel. He told me that he wants to drive France out of Africa and for it to be replaced with Russia. When I asked who pays for his operation, he said it wasn't the Kremlin, but he refused to disclose the source of funding.
Interesting. And let's take a look, if we can, at some of the examples of what's being pushed around on social networks. If we can see there, so we've got this picture here. What's going on here?
So we have Libya's ruler Muammar Gaddafi, who is being besieged by the evil Western forces, NATO and the conspiracy behind it. And this is the worldview of this network. It calls itself anti-colonial, and it sees Russia as a force which helps liberate Africa from the colonial West.
I see. And why, if we take a look at, so these are some of the other kind of images that are pushed around on I presume, Facebook and various social networks. Why does this matter?
Well, this is first of all very important. As you said, it's on Facebook, it's on Twitter, and it's across the Western social media. Russian propaganda was banned or restricted after the full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Now, Russosphère is present on those networks. But it's also important because analysts say that it influences real-time politics on the ground. We've seen the French being driven out of Burkina Faso and Mali, French troop withdrawal. We also see Russian flags being waved at rallies across Africa in several countries. And analysts, once again, they say that the disinformation contributes to this pro-Russian, anti-French sentiment.
That's interesting, and we're just seeing the pictures there as you're talking of flags being held up at those kind of rallies. And so what's interesting is it's a way of getting round any official bans on any kind of state television broadcast or whatever, the more traditional methods, because this is online and it's not directly from the state itself. It's a way of getting that propaganda and messaging out there. Is there any way to stop it?
Well, I think the social media networks might want to look into whether it violates their own rules, because it's what can be called a coordinated information operation, which is banned on Facebook and Twitter. But it's also smart in other ways as well, because it's really important, it taps into real grievances on the ground. Anti-French, anti-colonial sentiment is real in Africa. It's not invented by Russia, but it's used by Russia and pro-Russian actors such as Luc Michel and his Russosphère in these targeted campaigns, which use these real sentiments and then say, oh, that's why Russia needs to come in.
See. All right, we must leave it there. Grigor, thank you very much.
Thank you, Lewis.